Hey guys, I'm Emma. Happy Galentine's Day. I work at a maker studio, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make some fabulous resin earrings like the ones I have in now. Look how gorgeous. These are so easy but so fun and so satisfying to make. They're just gorgeous. They're a great gift for Galentine's Day. No girl in the world wouldn't enjoy these, so I'm excited to show you. All right, let's get started. Okay guys, this is the setup. So today we are going to be making these two pairs of earrings, which was used with our resin and hardener. We sell these at a maker studio. They come in an 8 ounce and a 16 ounce. They are wonderful. We love playing with them here at a maker studio. These were used with our new resin pigments. These are just fabulous. They are so fun to use. You can mix the colors. We also have this liquid pigment. Now, the biggest difference between these is the resin pigments mainly have a metallic-y look. So they're gonna have a more shine, they're gonna have that glimmer that we love, and then also the liquid pigments are just plain solid. So you can see these are more solid, whereas in these I used the resin pigment with a little bit of shine in it. So these also have that, as you can see in the details right there. So it's just whatever you're looking for, and they're all gorgeous. You're gonna have gorgeous jewelry that you got to make yourself and make it to your liking. These are some that we made for our Galentines. Happy Galentine's Day. I mean, these are just so cute and so fun and colorful. These are my favorite because they look like you would walk into a high-end boutique and find, and they're outrageously expensive. And what's amazing about making them yourself is you get to throw in that sentimental, hey, I made this for you and I love you and I'm happy to have you in my life, and I took the time to get creative and fun and make these to your own liking. And that's exactly what we can do, because look at, we've got so many colors, so many options. So yeah, even with these guys, like we gilded these with our gold leaf, which is here, and they are just so pretty. Like, they're just fabulous. Look at how that glows. It's so fun because my favorite part is the detailing of it. Like, there's so many details, it's so intricate, and then you can have simple fun ones that are just pink and classic, and they look fabulous no matter what. So today we will be using, of course, our resin and hardener. We're gonna need some cups. I love to use the plastic cups because then once you're done mixing or you're finished with a certain color, you can just toss it and don't have to worry about the mess. We're gonna need some tweezers and pliers for our application that will go in your ear, and we're gonna use popsicle sticks for mixing everything, spoons as well if you would like to use those. I like to use those when I am filling my mold with my resin mixture. We're going to be using our gold leaf, which is amazing. I love it. And then also sometimes when I'm using resin, or a lot of the times when I'm using it, I like to use pipettes. These really help when extracting the resin if you're getting it in a tiny little spot, just so it doesn't go over that mold and you're able to get things in more specifically. So let's start with our resin. So you're going to want to take 2 cups, which we've got here. Let's move these to the side. Here we go. So what's really important to remember when you're using resin is you always want it to be equal parts. If you don't have equal parts resin and equal parts hardener, your jewelry will not set and it will not be firm the way you want it to. It will bend and mold, and we do not want that. So let's go ahead and make sure that we measure out equally. You're just gonna pour it right in there. And what I like to do, I usually crouch down and look at them side to side so I can view and see that they are exactly the same. We're gonna pour that right in there. Okay. And then we take our hardener and we'll pour that in the other cup. Okay, perfect. And guys, I do just want to warn you, like, your hardener will come out a lot faster and thinner than your resin. So be careful when you pour so you don't over pour that hardener. Also, I'm just going to go and pour this hardener right into my resin. One, we're not using an extra cup that we don't need, pouring both into a separate cup. You can just mix it right in by pouring it. I always scrape the sides of my cup so I make sure that I'm getting every little bit of that hardener out of the cup and it's going to be mixed with my resin. Okay, we've got all of it out of there. Okay guys, now we're starting to mix. It's such a gorgeous texture. What you want to do is you want to mix for at least 3 minutes. Mixing it good and long enough for it to bind is just as important as pouring equal parts, because that same thing, if it is not mixed all the way together, your jewelry will not set and harden the way that you want it to. So that it can actually become solid. That is so important to remember when you're doing this, guys. So like I said, 3 minutes at the least. Also, you can, sometimes I hit this after with a little bit of heat. It will get those air bubbles out that we want to avoid. Because air bubbles will show up in your resin and you don't want that. You want it to be nice and smooth. So yeah, like I said, you can hit it with a little bit of heat. I've seen people get a hot tub of water and sit their cup, hold it in the hot water, and the bubbles, you just mix it after. It almost becomes a water-like, very thin, and all those bubbles just kind of pop away. So we are continuing to mix. Can you guys see how that's binding together? Galentines is so fun. Giving gifts and just making people feel special. Me and my sister, we always get each other little gifts for Galentines, and it's always so cute, and it's like a little happy, you know, everybody needs a little happy that makes them feel special. And I'm so excited because I'm going to give my sister a pair of these, and she's just going to adore them. And like I said, that aspect of you're making it for them, and it just makes it 100 times better. These are such a great way to just get creative and see what your mind can come up with, because you just get to play around and, okay, does this color mix well with this color? Do I like this one with this one? I've had my failures of colors that haven't turned out so well, but for the most part, these all mix beautifully depending on the color that you want. There hasn't been a color that I haven't been able to come up with yet, so that is so exciting. Okay guys, see how that's getting so nice and clear? That's what we want. We want it to look very clear, very well mixed, so that you know it is gonna harden and it's gonna be the consistency you need it to be so that your jewelry can set well. Okay, I think we're almost at 3 minutes here. Okay, that is perfect. All right, guys, so we are gonna start with the gold leaf. So these actually don't include any of our pigment. It is purely our resin with our gold leaf. Like I said earlier, our gold leaf is fabulous. I love it. It comes in sheets. You get 25 sheets in this pack, and it's so fun to play with. It just makes everything look fabulous and high end, and it's just gorgeous. I want to do it to everything that I own. If I could, I would. So when you open up that package, I've already got one open here, it's going to look like this. These are the sheets. They come in sheets here, like I said, and it'll be, see, look how stunning that is. That is gorgeous. So you'll pull a sheet from that. You just pull the sheet off. And what I did, after I pulled that sheet off, I put it in a cup. I've already got some mixed up here, but I put it in a little cup, just kind of ground it up. I used a wood stick just to make it smaller pieces that I could add. And once you've got that all mixed up, you will simply just add that right into your resin. And this is honestly a preference point. So this is where you make it unique to you. How much do you want to use? How much do you want to add? You can add however much you want. It's going to look fabulous either way. It just depends on how much you want the clear parts to show of your original resin. So I'm going to go ahead and mix that up and see if I want to add more or not, which I definitely think that I do. And you can see those little air bubbles in there. That's fine. We are going to pour that, and then like I said earlier, you can hit it with some heat and those will disappear, so you don't even have to worry about it. Just take some more, pour it right in there, which I love being able to just put it right into my resin and pour it with all my stuff added to it. See, look at how beautiful that is. Guys, that is just gorgeous. Also, with our gold leaf, you can get these as little or have them as big as you want. You might like some chunkier pieces in your jewelry, so it makes more of a statement, or you might like it little and not as noticeable. I want to point out to you, like, even in the detail of these earrings, you have like little specks of the gold leaf going throughout, and it's just a touch of shine. Okay, I think I'm going to sprinkle a tad bit more in there. Okay, I love that. It looks beautiful. These would be really gorgeous on some hoops as well. Kind of a twist on your classic gold hoop. Okay, so guys, then we're going to take our stencil, or not our stencil, sorry, our mold, and we are just going to pour it right in there. Like I said earlier, I like to use the pipette sometimes to fill this so it doesn't overflow. With this, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to miss these gold specks. I don't think that they would fit up in the pipette, but that is okay. We're just going to take our spoon here so I can be able to pour it more precisely instead of just pouring it right on, because these are earrings, you know, they're thinner, they're not as big as, say, if you're doing a resin tray or a resin coaster. So we just want to be careful. And what's even cool, so when you're going in to pour pour this in your earring, you can look around and dig, and it's like, oh, I want this gold leaf, or I want more gold leaf, to pick and choose kind of what your earring will look like in there. So we're just gonna pour this right in. We're gonna line it. Get some more. Get some more little specks in there. There we go. Okay, guys, and see, I over poured a little bit. That's okay. We're just gonna try and scoop it back in there. What you can also do using this, if you've overfilled, like I wanna add some more gold specks that I didn't get to the top and around the corners. So I'm gonna take some of that resin out. That's just the resin and not my gold leaf. And I'm going to just suck it out of there so I can add some more details to it. So you can see that just, it sucked the excess right up. Okay, now let's aim to get some more gold in there. See, now it's just sprinkled around perfectly in there. Take some of the excess out of there. Squeeze that resin right back in there. Take it out. And guys, you can even take your cup, get some more of the little specks, and put it right in there. It will get in there so it's not on the top of your resin. It will float right down to the bottom in the middle. Just tap that right on there. See, look at that, so gorgeous. These tiny little specks. There we go. Perfect. Okay, guys, now we're gonna take this and do the second one. Get those tiny pieces. And just fill it right up. Okay, now I'm going to take this and add some more of those little pieces for some more details in those earrings. Just dab it right in. Okay, guys, and you can kind of see that that's just sitting on top of my resin. Just want to make sure that you push it down in there so it's in the middle of your earring and not on the edge. And when you're doing this, you don't have to worry about, oh, will this mess up the shape of the earring? No. it is not dry yet, and it will settle and still look just as good. So you can get those details in that you want by putting it right in there. Okay guys, now we're gonna do these little squares that we're gonna attach to the top like these. Same thing, you're just gonna fill it right up. Make sure to get those gold details. Okay. All right, guys, so that is how we do these. We're gonna let those sit, and later on I will show you how to put the pieces together so that you can wear it as an earring. I'm gonna set this one aside, let that dry. Move these out of the way. All right, so we got our fresh cups. We are gonna go in with our resin, of course, again. Pour this. And as you guys saw, I have a bunch of that leftover gold resin. I can go in and fill in more molds with that. Then I have a whole jewelry set. We have bracelet molds, we have stud molds, we have ring molds. It's all, then you have something to wear with everything, and it looks so fabulous all together. It all matches. It's beautiful. Okay guys, then you're gonna take your hardener. Like I said, be careful with this. It's a little bit thinner, so it comes out quicker, and we just wanna make sure we've got those equal parts. We're gonna pour that right in there. Okay guys, close that up. And like I said, I'm just gonna pour this right into my cup and scrape out the excess so that you're not missing any parts of your hardener. Equal ratios, got to keep it equal. Sounds a little crazy out there. Don't know what's going on. Okay guys, and then we're gonna start mixing for 3 minutes. And you can do this at any pace. I've learned through trial and error that mixing slower causes a little bit less of the air bubbles or pockets that we see. So yeah, we're just gonna keep mixing. Remember, we don't want to do anything under than 3 minutes so that it's really good and mixed. While I'm mixing this, I just want to talk a little bit more about these colors, guys. All of these earrings that you see over here to the left, those are all custom colors by mixing our resin pigments. They are beautiful and just so fun and so unique. So say you're just coming up with ideas in your head. Oh, I want to make this color, but I don't have that right in front of me. Try it. I Googled so many, what colors can I mix to get this type of color? It's just playing around with it, trial and error, and have fun. Like, this is so fun to do. It feels so creative, and I just love it. There's such a range of things that you can come up with. Like I said, with the matching set, you don't have to do just jewelry either. We have a fabulous frame where this technique was used, and it would look gorgeous anywhere in your house. Okay, guys, we see that getting more clear, which is like what we want. As you can see, this one's, we've got a lot of air bubbles in there. Like I said, that is a-okay. We're gonna be fine, we're gonna get them out. What I will encourage you to do, so say you come up with a color that you really like, write down which colors you use to get that. You will forget. I have forgotten, which sucks because, you know, say I want to make another set or a pair in that color and I can't remember, or I can't perfect it again. Write it down. You know, okay, I did this amount on this earrings and I did this mixture with this mixture. So that's super important just in case you're wanting to make that same color or look again. Okay, guys, this is looking good and mixed. All right. So we are using our pigments, which is so exciting. I can't stress this enough how much I love them. I love them so much more than using the powder. It's less messy, it's clean, there's so much more color range you can do. So let's get into it. Let's make these. Our goal is this color. Like I said in that tip earlier, to write it down. I did not write this down, so we are going to have some fun and play around with it. The thing is with these, you don't want to use too much pigment coloring because it will mess with the makeup of your resin. You can achieve these colors by using just the amount that you need to get these colors without using too much, but it is easy to overdo it, especially when you are mixing. So just be cautious of that. You don't want to use more than 0.5% of the pigment versus your resin to hardener ratio. So these come in these little bottles that are perfect, and there's so much in them. You don't need a lot for this, you guys. So we're going to start out with this rose red. Okay, and when you take the top off, these are closed. So you're going to want to cut that top off so that the pigment is able to come out. Chop it right off, and then we're just going to do one squeeze of that. See how tiny I put that in there? That color is going to go a long way, guys. Then we're going to do white. Do a tiny squeeze of that. And white is really important. I like it because it gives you kind of that solid look. You can't see through the resin when you add white. I don't know what it does, but it gives it this nice base that really just kind of solidifies your resin. Now I am doing red. Dot of that, and then you're just going to take your stick and you're going to mix it right up. Look how gorgeous those colors are mixing together, guys. I love that. And you can see how a little goes a long way in this. That has completely changed the look of the resin. See, that's a little bit lighter than I'm going for, so I'm just going to add a tiny bit of this in there. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. Okay guys, so I added a little bit more of that pink. We're gonna go ahead and add just a bit more of the white and red. Remember, like I said, you don't want to add too much color to this because it will not set properly. So just be cautious about that and be aware of it so that you can have your nice hard jewelry. Do some red in there. Mix that all up. Guys, see how that's mixing in there? Now that white creates that more dense looking color, so it's not so see-through. And I know that this is not even close to the same color, but I think we're gonna go with this lighter pink just so we can have a variation of colors that we've done. And it is a fun kind of lighter color, and it shows you just how many different colors we can do with this. So, like I said earlier, I like to use my pipette to squeeze this in here because it just makes it more accurate. You can kind of see what you're filling and don't over spill with the mold. So we're gonna do that. Takes just a minute to get up in there because it is thicker. I love this lighter pink. I actually love that so much. I'm so glad. And guys, you can cut the end off. It'll kind of make the process go a little bit faster. Squeeze that off. That way more can get in there at once. Okay, wipe that excess off and then go ahead and just squeeze that right in there. Some more. Oh, I love that. Such a cute pink. These are perfect because not only are they cute for Galentines, but you'll be able to wear these year round and they will look fabulous. Wipe that excess off, fill it up. Just go around, make sure it's completely full. Perfect. Get some more and do the other one. Look how cute. Oh, I'm so excited about these. Okay. See, look how easy that makes it. You just follow the line. Squeeze that on up in there and pouring it in. Perfect. All right, guys, and we're just gonna let these sit overnight as well. Look how cute that color is. I love those. Okay, guys, I want to show you how you are able to put in these jewelry backs and holders so that you can wear them out, of course. Okay, so we sell them. They look like this. They are slightly open for you. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your earring. All these molds, or most of them, have holes in there for you to just stick this through. So you just stick it through. Theo says hi, everybody. And then squeeze that closed. Make sure that it's nice and tight so it doesn't come apart. There we go. See how that's in there? And that gold looks so pretty with that blue. So we're gonna set this there. I don't have one with me, but I'm gonna take it from this one to show you how to put this other hook on. So these come like this. It'll look like that in the packaging. We're gonna take our thinner pliers and just stick it through this loop. This loop will open up right here. I'm gonna slip that one off. See how that's open? And then we're just gonna take that and put it right in there. Close that back up. You might want to take your thinner ones again and just squeeze it closed. Twist it one more time. And then I'm gonna take my thicker ones and just squeeze it down even more so we know that it's shut. And boom, look how cute. Okay, guys, so look how cute that is. I can't wait to try these and wear them. They're just adorable. And then this is really cool. Mary Margaret came up with this and it's just fabulous. So as you can tell, these do not have the hole in the back of the earring to put anything through. So it just, when you take it out of the mold, it'll just be this solid earring. Well, we've got these, which is the back of an earring. So MM had the fabulous idea to, what you could literally do is, these are wet so I gotta be careful, but take it and wherever you need the back to be, so say it's this one, I'm gonna take it and stick this through the mold directly before I pour my resin in it. So I'm gonna stick it through, pour my resin on top, let it dry, and once it dries and you take it out of the mold, that back is already in there and you don't even have to worry about gluing it or anything. It's a part of your earring. It's amazing. I love it. And also you don't have to worry about the resin falling through your mold once you poke it through. It's got this little back that stops it from anything being able to get out of it. Also, you don't have to worry about the hole being in your mold, because every time that you make that earring, you're gonna need a back and it'll already be in the back and you can just stick it through that same hole every single time. All right, guys, this has been so much fun. I hope you learned a lot and loved everything that we are releasing and getting to use for new projects and make these gorgeous earrings. I'm so excited. I hope you all have a lovely Galentine's Day. Thanks for watching.